head. That's a bike.
Dyke!
One of my friends is from a different place and her dad's a different colour, and so someone once said some mean things to her and it upset me quite a lot.
Hate crime is one of these crimes that people don't want to talk about.
Everybody should be respected for their sexuality, their religion, their colour, and hate crimes have to be challenged, reported and stopped.
We are going to increase reporting of hate crime, and we are going to stop hate crime.
People who are subject to hate crime and hate incidents get that top-class service that they deserve.
Hate crime and the strategy that's been launched here today is something that is being addressed throughout West Yorkshire.
Racism. What is it? For those who are unaware or unsure what racism is treating someone differently or unfairly simply because they belong to a different ethnic community or are a different race to you. People can also experience racist comments because of their religion or nationality. Racism takes many different forms.
We're really excited to launch the hate crime strategy today because we've done a lot of work to work with a range of partners to make sure that their processes and their procedures and their approach to challenging hate crime, to actually encouraging people to report hate crime and actually fundamentally stop hate crime. So today it was very much about keep people together to make sure that they sign the charter, the strategies that we want it to. It has an action plan attached to it with key actions that will deliver the overall aims of what how the strategy has been brought about. And it's also about consulting with victims and individuals experiencing hate crime. It's very much about them putting their perspective and their stance on the strategy. So we're actually getting it right. And the really important thing about it is it's not a strategy, it's not a paper document. It's got to be real. It's something that makes a real difference to people's lives when they're out there in the community reporting hate crime through the police, to the council, through various our partners that we've signed up the charter today, to Stop Hate UK. It's making sure that the person on the other side that actually hears their issues is actually takes it from their perspective. And it's not about challenging, it's about listening to them, it's about supporting them and getting the right support and right package for those individuals. So I think that's very much what today was about.
Ginger, Minger, Lanky, Fag, Zitface, Fatso.
Various types of hate crime. There's obviously the race and ethnicity element. There's the sexual orientation and homophobia. There's obviously the faith, religion and belief, and then also disability. Again, transgender and gender identity. So again, those are areas which we are looking to address under the hate crime.
Dyke! Hate crime and the strategy that's been launched here today is something that is being addressed throughout West Yorkshire, and we want to make sure that we raise awareness of hate crime. And in the last reporting year for this, there were more than 700 reports here in Leeds alone, and obviously we know that this is still an underreported crime. So the aim, certainly within the police and crime plan that I've produced and working with Leeds Council and lots of other partners, is to try and make sure that we support victims and witnesses to these types of crimes, where they can come forward with confidence and report it either directly to the police, or they could actually report it to a third-party reporting centre like we're here in part of Leeds today at the Compton Centre.
The biggest challenge is that actually hate crime is one of these crimes that people don't want to talk about. We don't want to admit that it happens. It's underreported. People don't have the confidence to come forward and say, I've been subjected to hate crime, racism, domestic violence. And in Leeds, we are now signing up publicly to saying that's not acceptable any longer. We want to raise awareness. We want to put the victim at the centre of our inquiries and make a promise. We will see the issues through with you and we will support you.
It's like a minefield. A lot of hate crimes are not reported. And sadly, whenever there's an incident, because of the act of one individual, it has repercussion on all the community, and suddenly the hate crime incidents double, treble.
Often deep-rooted issues that lie behind hate crime and hate incidents in particular. What we've seen in Leeds over the last few years is, on the face of it at least, a reduction in such incidents and such crimes. But I think there's a big issue in terms of the public having confidence in reporting incidents to us, to the police and to our partners in the local authority and others.
It upsets me quite a lot because people should be equal, and it's unfair that a lot of people in the world don't think the same as what a lot of other people do, and it's just not fair.
It saddens me to say that people still have prejudices and fears of other communities, which results in hate crime. And just as many hate crimes are reported, just as many crimes are unreported of hate crime, which is very sad.
I, as a woman, feel very strongly about the crimes that are being committed against women in all over the world, and how disrespected women are. So I really am passionate about that. But I think any crime, whether it's to do with the colour of your skin or your sexuality or your sex or how you speak, is really wrong, and we must learn to respect everybody.
It's important that we have an ongoing discussion with our communities. Leeds has certainly got an ambition to be a city that is very welcoming of all types of people from different backgrounds, and we know in West Yorkshire, in places like Bradford, Halifax and Leeds, we've got very diverse communities, and it's part of my role as the Police and Crime Commissioner to ensure that I'm out and about as much as possible with the police, listening, making sure that people can talk to us on a regular basis.
We need to recognise the signs of hate crime, and that's once we recognise the signs, then there should be a simpler and clearer process for victims to come forward, because as a victim they're already feeling as though they are being hurt or they are not being listened to, and we need a process where it's clearer, it's simpler for the victim to approach the agencies.
In terms of reporting centres is why we've established so many across the city. They're in housing offices, they're in one-stop centres, they're in libraries, they're in Pacific organisations. There is more work to be done with regards to reporting centres. We would very much like to get like the mosques, the gurdwaras, the other community venues. We have a diverse population across Leeds, so it's about making sure that we have those centres in the right place for people to actually reach out and actually report hate crime.
Unfortunately, media doesn't help. The police and the local authority is very keen to assist the victims and ensure that this is tackled properly and thoroughly. But that's a sad state of the affair, that one incident happens and everybody suffers.
Raising the awareness in the wider community about our commitment to tackle these issues on the first hand, and then providing some confidence that actually when these issues are raised and reported to us, what we will engage in is a proper, coherent, committed partnership, if necessary, approach to tackling some of the issues. We're really keen to make sure that that confidence level is high, and that people who are subject to hate crime and hate incidents get that top-class service that they deserve.
Look at the emotional impact that hate crime is having on their health, their mental well-being, because the consequences and the impact of hate crime can't be underestimated. So it's very much about making sure that we address those issues effectively, but in a joined-up way. So for the individual, it's a straightforward journey. rather than saying, well, it's a police issue, or it's a council issue, or or it's a probation issue, or it's somebody else's issue. It's that's the whole purpose. It's very much about is that person, once that person reports it, we want to work closely with key partners to bring it to an end, to challenge it, to make sure that it's reported effectively and actually to stop it.
We need to, as a community, unite and tackle these kind of problems and make sure that we stand by each other, help and support each other, to ensure that our communities are safe and they can enjoy life in peace and harmony.
We value the diversity of people who live here, and we need to show respect to that. And if we are not prepared to tackle such fundamental issues as racism and hate crime, then we're not worthy of actually being called a civilised city. So we need to get on and do it.
And we need to make sure that we provide the support that victims of hate crime, they receive that support when they have the confidence to report this, because we really do want to have a zero tolerance approach to these types of crimes being committed.